Peace, good people. Okay, so we have an interesting turn of events showing up regarding the Francis Ngannou and Joshua card that is reportedly set to take place on March the 8th in Saudi Arabia. That's all set, and apparently the undercard it hasn't been determined yet, according to reports, but there are whisperings of a possibility that Deontay Wilder and Zhilei Zhang may be on the undercard of that. So I guess the co-main event to the bout that's taking place on March 8th. Okay, I got to gather myself a little bit because this is definitely a strange one for me to process. So, day of reckoning happening, Deontay Wilder completely was shut out in the Joseph Parker performance, as we all know at this point. What the fuck is Deontay Wilder going to do with Zhilei Zhang when he could not even manage to throw a jab in the fight against Joseph Parker? What's going on? Because I'm wondering now what the agenda is behind such a decision, if such were true. I'm hoping that it's not true. I have no problem if they wanted to put Wilder on that fight card between Joshua and Ngannou, because it kind of almost sets up a potential second try, a second hand at an attempt to create the buzz around the possible Joshua and Wilder fight in the future, because of course that's still a potential that's very strong, and it's still a fight that has amazing prestige, real talk, even though Wilder wound up losing his last fight. Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder is on the lips of the whole boxing world and has been for at least 5, 6, 7 years now. So, to as I stated in a previous video that I did about if that particular fight is still worthwhile, even though the performance was disastrous for Wilder, it's still a fight that I personally am interested in, and it's a fight that's hard for me to put down and just say, oh, it's gone asunder. It's no longer meaningful to me. It's not true, because that is the heavyweight fight to make. It's the only heavyweight fight of status and of stature and of posture that I identify with. So the Zhilei Zhang possibility of Wilder on that fight card in March is very bizarre to me. Zhang, first of all, is a silver medalist. He actually is the silver medalist under Joshua. Joshua won gold at the Olympics in 2008, and Zhilei Zhang was the runner-up. He was the silver medalist. They fought each other, and Joshua took the win and took the gold medal home. Zhilei Zhang is a great fighter. A lot of people say that fight was really competitive, and some people even had it really debatable, if not, saying, it's kind of the divided perspective. Some say that Zhang, won that fight. Others say Joshua won clearly, but you should check it out for sure if you haven't. It's definitely a competitive matchup that they had in the Olympics. Oh my goodness. I just have a lot of thoughts surrounding this. So yeah, he was the silver medalist. His only professional defeat was to Filip Hrgovic, which was a phenomenal fight. I actually, that fight could have gone either way. Talking about a close fight, the Zhang-Hrgovic fight was super close. Zhang was a monster in that fight. He was just laying some, even when he was tired, he managed to just land some heavy work to Hrgovic. And it could have really gone either way. They edged it to Hrgovic, but, which I'm not mad at, because Hrgovic was, he's a great fighter too. He's fantastic in that fight, but it was a really close fight. That's his only professional loss, was to that gentleman. Zhang is no joke. He's, I can't ever say that I've heard of a Chinese fighter of note and worth mention. But this cat is, he's something serious. Zhang is a phenomenal fighter. He's a southpaw. I love my lefties. Of course, I'm a lefty. So I tend to gravitate really strongly towards southpaws. But yes, he's fantastic. And to be quite honest, I don't think that the last performance of Deontay Wilder would warrant him to be in the ring with somebody of Zhang's character and caliber at this particular moment. It's very, 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 very strange that there would even be talks circulating about the possibility that Wilder would fight Zhang. Now, once again, this is all speculative at this point. It's hypothetical. It's just in the air. This is what, I forget what his name is, the gentleman on Twitter, the boxing reporter that said that, talks were in motion surrounding the possibility of this. But I just wanted to add some commentary to that possibility and to that thought. I just think it's way, 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 way far-fetched to fight for Deontay Wilder at this moment. He had a disastrous performance against Joseph Parker. And first and second of all, if there's even an inclination of this being a reality, I think that if he proceeds and decides to go ahead with that fight, hypothetically speaking, that he would have to motherfucking get rid of Malik Scott. Hells to the no. Hells to the no. He cannot get in no ring with no goddamn Zhilei Zhang with Malik heading his training camp. It's not giving. It's not giving. He has to get his ass far, far, far away from Malik Scott heading into a fight with Zhilei Zhang. Zhilei Zhang does not come to play. He is a pure boxer. He's a heavy hitter. He has wonderful footwork, great timing. He has no problem establishing his dominance amongst his opponents. He's a serious fighter. And I don't want to say that with shade to Deontay Wilder, because Deontay Wilder is also a serious fighter. That's what we know him for. We know him for his heart. We know him for that passion, that fire that he brings, unapologetic in that ring. Whether he's windmilling, whether he's throwing a jab, whether he's, landing a right hand or a hook or whatever he decides to do in that moment, he is throwing that shit with all of his being. That's why we love him. As awkward and unconventional as his style is, we know and love Wilder for that flame. But that side of him we did not see displayed, real talk, on the Day of Reckoning card. I'm not sure who that was that showed up. It was lackluster. It was off time. It was off base. His punches weren't being placed. His punches weren't being thrown. He kind of looked dazed and confused and kind of in a haze of wonderment. I'm not sure where Deontay Wilder was. But the one that I know was not present at the Day of Reckoning. And it's just it's very dangerous. And it has me wondering, like, what are y'all trying to do with Wilder? Like, I was not the only one, and the boxing world were not the only ones watching that Wilder. Who the hell made the decision based off of that last performance to even gesture towards him getting in the ring with the likes of Zhang? It makes absolutely no sense to me. I hope that it's not true. I hope it does not come into fruition. It's not a good fight. Why didn't they make the Parker rematch if that's the case? Do you have a second go at it? Even though I did hear that, I heard somewhere on some platforms that some speculation saying that Wilder wasn't particularly interested in fighting Parker again. I don't know how true that is, but there were some words, some notions of that circling, some media platforms and things like that. But I just don't know how effective Wilder would be. And I hate to say that because it's almost like, Wilder is definitely one of my favorite fighters as well. For me, it's Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder. They are the only two heavyweights that I feel. Even though I respect Usyk, he came in and he did his thing or whatever, but and I can't shit on Fury. Fury, he is what he's a goofball, but he's a a serious competitor, or he has been. I don't know about as of late with his performance against Ngannou, but he tends to be too fickle. I can't really place Tyson Fury. One minute he's serious, next minute he got a coke habit, the next minute he's taking PEDs. I don't trust him. I don't like the character of that. I support clean fighters and fighters that work hard and that are serious, not people who got to motherfucking dope up to, provide some level of competition or to compete. But I don't want to make it seem like a slight of hand at Deontay Wilder, because I do believe that he's still a powerful contender, and he's still able to achieve some sense of greatness. Like I said in the previous video of mine, if you guys haven't watched that, go check it out. I just do not believe that Malik Scott is the man to get him across the finish line to success. He's too lapsadaisical. I don't know what the hell's going on. I think if he has the slightest chance, whether it's against Zhang or any other future opponent, I believe that Wilder just needs to get a trainer that is serious. A trainer that is serious and that has some know-how, not only in speaking eloquently about what can be done and about what one can do, but one who is actually formulating a basis off of which to act. You can't just talk about it, and Malik is just full of fluff to me. I'm concerned, you guys. I can't even front, but let me know your thoughts. What do you guys think about the Deontay Wilder possible matchup with Zhilei Zhang on the undercard of the Joshua-Ngannou card on March 8th? I don't know, you guys. I got some reservations about this one. Peace.